Chapter 1 Dark Magic. The Caesarian forest, shrouded in darkness and ancient secrets, acted as an impenetrable barrier between the two powerful kingdoms of mankind. This vast expanse of wilderness and twisting trees teemed with a myriad of creatures both fearsome and enchanting, making it a treacherous and mostly unexplored territory, save for one path leading from the western gate of Nova, the magnificent capital city of mankind, where the ancient castle Rinva sat. The long path led through the perilous forest and stretched to the western kingdom of Orel, which sat at the foot of the vast Durian mountain range which divided the northern desert from the fertile lands of the south. Castle Orel was built upon the borders of the twin cities of Orly and Canzo, where King Dontus Conduits now ruled. The dwarvish wizard Bolpasard had known the two kings of mankind, Ilinjar Rinva, king of Nova and the Eastern Kingdom, and Dontus, king of the Western Kingdom, since they were both young boys. They would often run into the wizard when he visited the castles as part of his duties as head of the order. To his great delight, the two young princes had formed a deep friendship, and in his heart he had hoped they would be the ones to finally unite the two kingdoms of mankind under one banner. Bolpasard had watched the two grow into wise and strong kings. Both ruled with great kindness and grace. When the time for marriage had come, Bolpasard performed their ceremonies, and each acted as the other's best man. To still see those two as close as brothers brought Bolpasard's old dwarvish heart much joy. One eventful night of mead and wine had unfortunately sundered the friendship, and they had begun to argue and fight. Neither would speak of that fateful night, and Bolpasard suspected they had been too drunk to remember the events that led to the ending of their long friendship. Despite Bolpasard's best efforts to prevent war between them, war came, yet no blood or blow had yet come to pass. Their anger towards each other was felt all about the land. For many months, Bolpasard had used his fellow order member, Dengard's position as court wizard of Orel to rekindle the friendship. But the two had grown bitter, and it took the wizards 3 long years just to get the kings to agree to a meeting. The wizards had arranged for the kings to meet in the elven city of Tiatheth, which had been gifted to them by the dwarves many centuries ago in an act of friendship. For 2 months the talks continued, and in that spring, with great effort and perseverance, the two kings finally put the fight behind them and at last rekindled their long friendship. 1 year of peace had now passed, and, to the delight of Bolpasard, the two kings had remained friends and again had become close with each other. It was not long after this that Bolpasard learnt that Queen Kara Conduits had given birth to a baby girl. Bolpasard could foresee Yoji becoming a strong, independent person, a trait she had inherited from her late mother, whose life had been lost during the birth. Her passing saddened the two kingdoms greatly, as she was well loved. Vast crowds had turned out for her funeral, lining the cobbled streets of Orly as far as the eye could see, all waiting to pay respects to their beloved queen. Made of smooth mahogany, her coffin boasted 4 golden handles and lay amongst many flower wreaths, in the white carriage with the large glass windows. 4 black steeds stood adorned with deep purple velvet sashes bearing the royal seal of a hand rising from a lake holding a sword, pulled the carriage along, where people wept and threw flowers in its path as it rolled towards the east. The queen would find her final rest in the royal tomb sitting upon a great hill in the necropolis just north of the outer farming district of the Twin Cities. For the next 2 months the kingdoms wept and mourned, further delaying the traditional blessing of the new royal.